There's so much change happening all the time in Freeport that making videos like this is going to be abundant for the near future because there's so much development. And every time we have the opportunity to show property in these beautiful communities like Hammock Bay, Windswept, Nature View coming off of 3280, there's just so much development that we just need to talk about. And a lot of times you can't find this information readily online. So in this video, we're gonna break down a new residential community, possibly two that are coming into our area. We're gonna talk about the new CHELCO service. That means hopefully we get electricity a little bit faster in terms of power outages. We're also gonna talk about some new churches. So much to talk about in this video, so let's lock in. So as I mentioned, we have a ton to cover, but there's actually some developments in this video. There's actually not a ton of public information on, whether you look at the county website or you just try to find basic information online. So for the first time in my tenure highlighting new construction, there's gonna be some things that we're gonna touch on without going too far in depth. But there's a ton of developments in this video that we're actually gonna dig deep into. And until I can get more information from my contacts, we can at least see the infrastructure being laid down for those future developments. First is along 83A and owned by the Hammock Bay building company called the Reserve at Hammock Bay. Now I've heard whispers of a planned community with larger estate-sized lots over here in Freeport, but can't find a plat or information showing future home sites or commercial developments. Now you can see from these drone shots, however, the massive scale to be considered here. On the other side of Bay Loop Road, you can see all this infrastructure being led across the middle section of this peninsula in Freeport, but we can see these two parcels consisting of about 33.5 acres. Based on the limited information online, it appears to be 127 single-family lots, but keeping my eyes on these two developments as they continue to clear land and lay infrastructure. Along the west end of 83A, just north of the development that we just talked about, CHELCO is stepping up in a big way with a new full-service operations center right here in Freeport. And it's going to make a real difference for anyone living around South Walton and the surrounding areas. This new 14-acre campus is a huge upgrade. It'll have a 28,700 square foot main building, a 10,000 square foot storage facility, plus about 8 acres dedicated to staging equipment like transformers and poles. The biggest impact that we'll see here is overall speed. Right now, outage crews respond from CHELCO's operations center into Funiac Springs. So by positioning dedicated crews right here in Freeport, the utility can shorten response time to key service areas such as Santa Rosa Beach, down here on the south end of South Walton, and the Blue Water Bay communities over in Niceville, delivering faster, more efficient power restoration when it matters the most. Next to that is Aliquippa Business Park, which is one of the newest industrial parks consisting of going to be 6 freestanding buildings totaling about 46,000 square feet. So if you're looking for commercial space, if you're looking for an industrial park with warehouse, this is going to be a great thing to consider and keep on your radar. So if you want to see the next 5 to 10 years and what that's going to look like in Freeport, it's this map right here. This is going to be such a pivotal part right here in the overall Freeport community. And if I'm a commercial developer, I have to consider all of this. If I'm looking at residential opportunities and if I'm going to have a home to sell in 5 to 10 years, I have to know all this stuff like the back of my hand because it's really going to impact property values. First thing we're going to look at is the exchange of Owlhead's apartments. It's about 24.5 acres right here along 331 with 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartment homes. There's going to be 300 units to be completed the first quarter of 2027, and you can see they're already doing a ton of work. Looking online right now, the Madison that just sits north of that along Highway 331 and 331 Business is the Madison at Owl's Head and already has a $1,300 per month market value for a 1-bedroom unit. So I would expect these market values to be around that same price starting at that 1 bedroom, along this $1,300, $1,500 price range. So right behind where we currently see DSLD building out in the Bluffs at Lafayette, D.R. Horton is also going to set up their new Phase 3 of Magnolia at the Bluffs here in Freeport. This new home community will have 5 floor plans with 3 and 4 bedroom options available. They're going to be starting around that $320,000 price range. But if you go down this road along the power lines, you can see the full plat that I'm going to put on the screen right here as well. This is a ton of inventory coming in that low $300,000 price range. Again, it's going to be part of the express package of D.R. Horton. So weigh the overall qualities when we're looking at $300,000 homes here versus DSLD. But want to make sure that you guys note this as you can see the future inventory coming right here to Owl's Head. If you go down Highway 20 from 331, you'll actually notice the 15.23 acres cleared to make way for the new Cross Point Church. From the plans that I can see, there will be a worship auditorium, a large preschool setup, and indoor recreational / multi-purposes space. It's huge to see where they are right now to going to 15 acres right here in the premier destination between 331 and Hammock Bay. Now, if you're looking for an affordable way to get into new construction for a townhome setup in Freeport, Genoa Landing is worth a look. It's set on nearly 14 acres just off of 4 Mile Road, and the community will feature 68 brand new townhomes each with 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, a 1-car garage, and a private back patio with a partition for extra privacy. Now prices start at about $270,000. You'll have access to a community pool. This is really gonna compete with the verandas at Freeport, right there along Business 331. You're kind of in that corridor where it's starting to get a little more busy with industrial, with the schools right there. So Genoa land, it could be an interesting opportunity if you're looking for newer construction. So a ton of things to consider when it comes down to townhomes and single family homes right here in Freeport. So Freeport is constantly evolving. If you've driven through the community anywhere in the last 5 years, you can see this plainly. But what does this all really mean to you as a real estate investor? If you're looking in commercial opportunities, I can really point you in the right direction where I'm seeing all the right development happening for your specific growth corridor. And if we're looking for residential development, where's the next destination for full-time living? If you don't like the idea of a master plan community, or if you just want something a little bit smaller in terms of density, I'm your guy when it comes down to all things Freeport real estate. So if you have any questions, make sure you use information below, get in touch with me. I can't wait to see you here in Freeport soon.